Mr. Seo.
Could you
Thank you. I'd like to now go over handwriting that is contained on people's number 43, and you've indicated to us that those are in fact your writing, correct?
Correct.
So what does the 1221 that's in a circle represent?
Yes, that was when the call was called in.
And just to the right of that, can you see where my
Correct.
red dot is? Tell me what that is, please.
That's glucose.
What does that represent?
When I was talking to the base station, they were asking us to find out what the patient's glucose reading was.
And did you provide that information?
Yes, I did.
Did the glucose reading provide any indication that there was any change in Mr. Jackson's condition?
No, it didn't.
And just to the right of glucose, do you see where my pointer is now?
I do.
Describe that information, please.
The EPI is short for epinephrine.
And that is one of the starter drugs that you described for us that was in Jackson?
That's correct.
And the numbers next to it?
3.5, and frankly, I'm not sure what that was.
Okay.
And 1240, that shows that we gave, what it shows is we gave 3.5 milligrams of epinephrine at 1240.
So it indicates a measurement of the starter drugs as well as the time administered, correct?
Correct.
Now, my pointer is here over these letters. What does that represent, please?
Allergy.
And what is the significance of your writing that information on this document?
When I walk into a call, and specifically this room, I have this piece of paper in my hand. So it's a natural piece of scratch paper. When I asked the doctor if the patient had any allergies, he says, yes, I think Thorazine.
You are recording this information contemporaneously while you are receiving the information, basically.
That's exactly right.
And in response to your query to Conrad Murray, he replied he thinks that Mr. Jackson is allergic to Thorazine?
That's correct.
And to the right of Thorazine, there's these letters. Can you tell me what those mean, please?
That's also EPI for epinephrine, and ATR, which was short for atropine, and PIE, and I really don't remember what PIE is for.
Very well. Now I'd like to go over here where this writing is. Can you tell me what that is, please?
That is 1257.
And what does that represent?
That was when I was talking to UCLA, and they were at that point saying that we want to go ahead and call it.
And they indicated they wanted to go ahead and call it because there were no signs of life for Mr. Jackson. Is that accurate?
That is.
There's a box area here to the right. Do you see where my pointer is outlining?
Yes, I do.
Starting with the first line, would you describe for me, please, what that says and what the significance is?
HYD, and that was my shorthand at the moment for hydration.
And that information came from who?
Dr. Murray.
And that information was in relationship to treatment that that Dr. Murray had provided to Mr. Jackson?
That's correct.
The next line?
Lorazepam.
What does that signify, and where did that information come from?
That signifies that Dr. Murray told me the patient had taken lorazepam.
The patient had been given lorazepam by Dr. Murray. Is that correct?
That's correct.
That's the information that Dr. Murray stated to you, correct?
That is correct.
The third line here, would you please tell me what that information conveys?
That says second bicarb. Sodium bicarbonate, it's a medication we give.
And you gave that to Mr. Jackson?
That's correct.
What is the purpose of that medication?
When you're not breathing, your cells produce acid. As the acid levels build up in your bloodstream, it makes it impossible for your heart to function. Sodium bicarbonate is a base, the opposite of an acid. It brings the level back down to a normal level.
Yet another attempt to assist in reviving Mr. Jackson, correct?
That's correct.
Below it there appears to be a number. What is that?
The number's 1400.
What is the significance of that number?
It's when the second bicarbonate was given, but that's not accurate.
What do you mean it's not accurate?
Well, I don't wear a watch. I get my time off of my cardiac monitor, and it was off by an hour.
I understand.
So
But all the other information that you received from your monitor was accurate, correct?
That's absolutely correct.
Base Station, you told us that at 12:57 you are in communication with UCLA Base Station, and they advise you that because efforts to resuscitate are unsuccessful, they are prepared to call time of death, correct?
That is correct.
Your Honor, at this time I have an exhibit that I asked you marked People's number 44, please. It's a CD.
Mark, People's 44. If I may, Firefighter Senneff, you indicated that the time of 1400 is incorrect by an hour. In which way?
It was actually 1300.
Thank you. It's marked People's 44.
Thank you, Your Honor. I also have a transcript. That is a 2-page document. May it be marked People's number 45, please.
It is?
Your Honor, may
First.
No objection, Your Honor.
All right, thank you, Mr. Gorgian. And Ms. Brazil, if you'd be kind enough to provide 44 and 45 to Firefighter Senneff and me.
Thank you, Your Honor.
May. Do you want to publish it?
Yes, I do, Your Honor.
There being no objection, thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, each one of you is going to get your own copy of People's 45, as before. Please put your your seat number circled on it, as well on this one as People's 45. People's 45. Counsel, do you stipulate that Mrs. McNeil need not transcribe, Ms. Brazil?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Gorgian?
Yes, Your Honor.
Thank you. It's accepted. This is People's 45, ladies and gentlemen. People's 45 with your seat number, please. We have a few missing copies,
Oh, I'm
or
sorry.
are they just floating around? Who doesn't have? Okay, 3 alternates, please.
I apologize, Your Honor.
That's all right. Two, 3, and 5. Again, this is People's 45. Does everyone have a copy? Yes, thank you. As before, ladies and gentlemen, People's 44 CD is the evidence. People's 45 is a guide only. If you hear something differently, rely upon your own determination. Ms. Brazil.
Thank you, Your Honor. May I proceed?
You may.
You have a pulse with CPR, and we know if I can give you a total of medications on board, if you'd like to, but yes, go ahead. We have a total of 4 EPIs on board. I got maybe 3 more to start. That's in the station, is it? Okay, that's it. We have a total of 2 EPIs on board, 2 atropines on board, and 1 bicarb on board. And that's where we're at. And total time down in asystole? You're going to have to tell me what time it is right now. Sure, it's 12:57. Okay, our initial time of dispatch is 12:21. So if you want to round it off at 12:20, but 12:18, 12:20, somewhere around there is when the event occurred. Okay. All right. If there's nothing further, we're going to call it here. And time of death is 12:57 from our end here. Okay, let me run it by the doctor real quick here. Okay. Right now, UCLA is in the belief that any further efforts would be futile. We could stop everything right here, or if you want to assume care, we can transport to UCLA. But the doctor here wants to definitely transport. Okay, make sure he's in the rig with you on the way here, and we'll see you in about 10 minutes. All right. And I'm going to high profile VPI, VIP, and we'll be right up in there 7 days out. All right, 71, you 7 days out.
That concludes the playing of People's 44.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you.
Mr. Senneff, once you receive that information from UCLA that they believe that the efforts that you have undertaken have been unsuccessful and that death has occurred, Dr. Murray is going to assume control and care of the patient, correct?
Correct.
Now, when you are in the room the entire time, you told us that you saw an IV pole, correct?
Correct.
With a saline bag attached to it.
Correct.
And Mr. Jackson had an IV port in his leg that was
Correct.
compromised, correct?
Correct.
And was there an oxygen tank in the room as well?
Yes.
Did you see any other medical other than those items that I have listed?
I did not.
During the time that you are caring for Mr. Jackson, did Conrad Murray request any medical treatment for you and your team to perform?
Yes, he did.
What did he request?
He asked for us to do a central line.
And what is a central line?
That is a line that goes directly into an artery in the chest.
Is that a procedure that paramedics perform?
No, it is not.
Why is that?
We have no training. We don't have the equipment with us, that sort of thing.
Is it accurate to say that a central line procedure is one that is performed by a physician in a hospital setting?
That's correct.
Did Conrad Murray offer to perform that procedure himself in order to attempt to save Mr. Jackson?
Frankly, I don't recall whether he was offering to do it or whether he was asking us to do it.
Well, you indicated that you, paramedics, did not have proper equipment to perform a central line procedure, correct?
That's correct.
Did Dr. Murray say, here, I have the equipment, I or you can perform a central line on Mr. Jackson?
No, he did not.
He offered no equipment whatsoever to perform that task that he requested, correct?
That is correct.
Did Dr. Murray request you to perform any other procedures or provide any other medications to Mr. Jackson?
Yes, he did.
What?
He asked us to administer magnesium.
And did you have magnesium to administer to Mr. Jackson?
No, ma'am.
Did Dr. Murray provide you with any magnesium that he had that he or you could provide to Mr. Jackson in an effort to save?
No, he did not.
You have described for us the significance of the information contained on People's Number 43. I'd ask you to take a look at another document. Your Honor, I have a 2-page document. I'd ask that it be marked People's Number 45. Oh, excuse me.
6.
Thank you. People's Number 46.
It is.
Mr. Senneff, I placed People's Number 46 on the projection screen. Are you able to see it clearly from your vantage point, or would you like me to bring a copy up to you?
I caught her.
Okay.
Or if you could zoom it in, maybe?
I'm going to.
Okay.
Well, maybe that'll be better since it's dark.
A lot to comprehend because of the writing.
Yes, Your Honor, I don't intend to go through every line of the document with the witness. Mr. Senneff, I know you can't see the entire document, but would you describe what this document is, please?
It's our medical report that we do on all patient contacts.
Did you fill out the information contained on this report?
Yes, I did.
Is it formally known as a 902M run sheet?
That's correct. It is a 902M.
Does this